Hi, everyone. Anna Catherine Stone here at Injury Florida Law Firm. Wanted to start a series called What's the Question of the Week? We handle workers' compensation claims in this office, and I have been for approximately the last 24 years, handling all aspects of workers' compensation claims throughout the state of Florida. And I like to do what's called What's the Question of the Week? Meaning that we get multiple questions, the same question from multiple clients, because they are typical questions that we get on a daily basis. One of the biggest questions that we get, especially from new clients and even clients that maybe have just gotten an accident and just started being represented by our law firm and are treating with the doctors that the work comp insurance company has given them. The first question they all say is, I don't like that doctor. Can I change my doctor? Can I get a different doctor? Why do they get to choose? Why can't I select my own doctor? Why can't I go to a doctor that I went to before? Well, the answer to all those questions is you can't. If you want to accept workers' compensation benefits and you want them to pay for your medical treatment, then you have to play by their rules and you have to go to their doctors. That's just the way the system is. I can't change it. You can't change it. There are some exceptions to that rule. They're very, very limited though. One exception is that you can request what we call a one-time change in physician. Now that is one doctor throughout the course of your case, not per specialty. It used to be years ago that you could change per specialty. They changed that back in 2003 and made it to where it's only you get to change doctors one time. So if you're treating with multiple different specialists, you need to be careful on using that one-time change. And it has to be, the request for that one-time change has to be in writing. It has to be sent to the insurance adjuster, and they have to be given 5 days to select a new doctor. Now, doesn't mean you have an appointment within 5 days. You may not even have an appointment letter, but they must identify the name of the new doctor within that 5 days, and they must make efforts to start the process of getting you an appointment. If, however, they do not do anything or do things that they're correctly supposed to do within that 5 days, then you do have the opportunity to select your own doctor. But that doctor must be willing to accept the workers' comp fee schedule, pursuant to the work comp fee schedule book, and that doctor must be comfortable with evaluating and treating workers' comp patients, which not all doctors are. It's no different than a primary health care doctor maybe not wanting to take one insurance over the other. It's the same principle when it comes to workers' comp insurance. So if they do not respond within that 5 days, or they don't respond correctly within the 5 days, then you do get to select a doctor and you do get to notify them of your choice. Now, be careful. Sometimes they will try to send you to a doctor before you have selected a doctor. So it's always important that in that request, you notify them of what doctor you would like, assuming they do not adhere to the 5-day rule. The other way that you get to select your doctor, but it costs a lot of money, is what we call an independent medical evaluation, or an IME doctor. That's basically your expert, but you're only allowed to see that doctor one time. That doctor reviews your medical records, performs a physical examination, takes a history from you, and issues a report as to what they believe the major contributing causes of your injuries, the diagnosis, and any treatment plan, if any. Those evaluations, however, can cost anywhere between $2,500 to $3,500, if not more, for that one-time evaluation. So that is not to be taken lightly. Also, it cannot be a doctor that you have treated with in the past. Oftentimes I will have clients come to me and say, oh, well, I treated with this orthopedic doctor, 5 years ago, and I really liked him, and he knows all about me, and he'll know that this is not the same thing as what I had before. And so I want to go back to him and he be my expert. Well, unfortunately, you can't use someone that you've already previously seen. The other thing is there is a reporting requirement with regards to notification to the insurance company that you have secured an IME appointment. So within 15 days of the appointment, you have to notify them that you have selected this doctor as your independent medical evaluator, or that report cannot come into evidence for the judge's purposes. Now, the kicker is also with an IME, you go and spend all this money, and then there's no guarantee that the insurance company will even adhere or abide by what that doctor says. Really and truly, they don't have to. They're not obligated to do what your IME doctor has recommended or suggested. It is a way of giving you some medical evidence to file what's called a petition for benefits at the end of the day, and the judge can, if the IME report has been properly authenticated by way of deposition or affidavit from the doctor, can consider those opinions. Bottom line is, I recommend that you consult with an attorney at any time that you are considering changing your doctor or getting an expert involved in your case. It's always best to seek legal counsel when making those decisions. Have a great day.